President Trump is looking to force another vacancy, and this time he wants the director of the Secret Service out. We have our Caitlin Collins at the White House. Let's go back to her. She's there on the North Lawn. This breaking just now. Tell us about this, that the Secret Service director is being removed from his position, according to multiple sources.
That's right, Brianna. One day after the Homeland Security Secretary was forced to resign from her position, we are now learning that the Secret Service Director, Randolph Tex Alice, is also being removed from his position. Now, President Trump has instructed his Chief of Staff, Mick Mulvaney, to fire Alice, but he still remains in this position. But we're told that while he's still there, though, he is on the way out, Brianna, and they've asked him to leave the Secret Service. Now, an official told CNN, quote, "There is a near systematic purge happening at the nation's second largest national security agency," because, of course, you can't ignore that this is coming. The news of this is coming just one day after Kirstjen Nielsen walked into the White House yesterday, sat down with President Trump for about half an hour, and he demanded her resignation as he's grown frustrated with immigration numbers in recent days. This also comes as we're being told by several other sources that Stephen Miller, who was chief in critical in pushing out Nielsen, also wants several other DHS officials to leave DHS as well. Of course, Brianna, you know Secret Service falls under DHS, so this is, of course, under Nielsen's purview as she's still there leading the agency until Wednesday. But we are being told that now the Secret Service director is going to be removed from his position.
And we don't know at this point exactly what has prompted this firing, Caitlin. But if you can check in with your sources, I want to bring in right now for analysis CNN law enforcement analyst and former Secret Service agent Jonathan Wackrow. He's joining me by phone. What do you make of this? That this is someone who does report to the ousted Homeland Security Secretary, but what does this mean to you that the director of the Secret Service is being kicked out?
Well, what this is it's actually following a pattern here. I mean, everyone who was associated with the then Chief of Staff, General Kelly, including the outgoing DHS Secretary and now Director Ailes. I mean, there seems to be just a pattern here of cleaning house anyone that was associated with General Kelly at that point in time. In terms of the strategy for the Secret Service, if for this to happen now, is probably in terms of timing, the best that it could possibly happen. We're just prior to kicking off the 2020 campaign, presidential campaign. So having a new, fresh look at leading the Secret Service in terms of timing, this is probably the best timing as possible. The director has been in position for just about 2 years. But he's failed to move the needle in terms of a lot of the reputational issues that the service has had in the past, a lot of the managerial issues. So this is I think, an appropriate call by the president to make at this time.
And there's also this issue of someone illegally entering Mar-a-Lago, right? They didn't get through, obviously, sort of to the inner ring of security, but this was a woman who was carrying Chinese passports, phones. She had a flash drive that contained malware. Mm-hmm. Do you see that playing into any of this or no?
I think it's tangential to the overall issue that's plagued the Secret Service for a long time, which is the appropriate level of governance and oversight that came from the senior leadership that's pushed down into the operational execution for the service. Again, listen, the Secret Service has some longstanding problems around people, process, and technology. They failed to have a solid strategy on how to address the very dynamic threat environment that the president faces by executing and encouraging the budget expansion, the expansion of technology. How do they keep pace with these growing global threats? So I think that the director was the first outside leadership choice for the service in its well over 150-year legacy, and there was a lot of hope that was built around that a new, fresh set of thinking would be brought in management for the Secret Service. And obviously, we haven't seen the needle move at all during his tenure, and I think that this was an appropriate time as the direction is changing at DHS, changing the direction of some of the components, just falls in line with that.
All right, Jonathan Wackrow, former Secret Service agent, thank you so much.